And we are live. Welcome to another session of Building the Bull. This session is brought to you by the Skylabs and Vetter ecosystem. My name is Ryan. I'm so glad to be your host today. And over the last year, over 16,000 crypto projects have launched. And how would you like to get paid to share quality crypto pre-sales on the CrowdX Calendar? That, my friends, is exactly what these sessions are about. It's all about equipping you with the knowledge, resources, and experience to find these great crypto projects. Now, we work together to find projects that have potential while at the same time bring up warnings, red flags about projects that may bring concern. We use a crowdsourced model where we work together collectively. Now, over the last 6 months, we've recorded over 100 plus live sessions just like this where we support the community in navigating the CrowdX Calendar, finding the next 2x, 100x gems, and we've paid out over thousands and thousands of dollars worth of crypto in doing so. So as you're watching, go ahead and drop a hi, hello. We got Carl with us. We got Wanda. It's cold and snowy there in Alberta. Wanda, I was actually talking to someone else that was in Canada, and it's snowy there. Would you believe it? Yesterday was 80 degrees here in Oklahoma. So it's we're definitely in that random period here in North America. The weather, different parts it's cold and winter-like, and other parts summer hasn't given up quite yet. So with that being said, I hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. And last session on Tuesday, I made the announcement that part of the reason I'm bringing up mindset conversations is really simple. Really simple. We're building something. We're building something that takes vision. And I believe that in order to have success in any area of life, it really comes down to the mindset that we have, the belief, the way we think about things, the way we view things, because that impacts everything. And so, the reason I'm sharing these nuggets, and the reason I'm going to continue to share these nuggets, is for the sole purpose of, when you plug in and you tune into one of these sessions, I want you to be able to take away something that you can apply, you can use right away, and start getting results. Not necessarily directly in the crypto space, but any area of your life. Now, if you're a scout in particular, if you're a community member in the Vetter ecosystem and you're looking forward to building out the ecosystem, your head game is incredibly important. And we talked about the other day, your vision gets to be greater than your ego, and we all have ego. Our ego sticks up and jumps out all the time. Ego could be, we know it all, we know the answer, we have the solution, we're the smartest person in the room. Why are all these people idiots? That's ego. Another one could be arrogance. Okay? Another one could be entitlement. Another could be selfishness. Okay? How many times have we seen these traits come out with people? The flip side could be fear, anxiety, worry about looking silly, worry about having the wrong answer, afraid to ask for support, afraid to step out, afraid to take a risk. And so my intention with these sessions is to empower you, just to give you a little, like I said, a little gold nugget here, a little gold nugget there, and maybe over time, I may say something that really resonates with you, has a really huge impact in your life, or maybe just it's kind of like putting a puzzle together. It's all these different pieces, you're putting the puzzle pieces together, and you end up with something great. So with that, last session we talked about the 7 decisions from Andy Andrews, the book, The Traveler's Gift. And the first decision was the buck stops here. Okay, the first decision was the buck stops here. And today we're going to continue on that with the second decision. Now, I do invite you to go ahead and check out Discord so you can see what the first decision was all about. But I'm going to read the second decision for success. I will seek wisdom. Knowing that wisdom waits to be gathered, I will actively search her out. My past can never be changed, but I can change the future by changing my actions today. I will change my actions today. I will train my eyes and ears to read and listen to books and recordings that bring about positive changes in my personal relationships and a greater understanding of my fellow man. No longer will I bombard my mind with materials that feed my doubts and fears. I will read and listen only to what increases my belief in myself and my future. I will seek wisdom. I will choose my friends with care. I am who my friends are. I speak their language. I wear their clothes. I share their opinions and their habits. From this moment forward, I will choose to associate with people whose lives and lifestyles I admire. If I associate with chickens, I will learn to scratch at the ground and squabble over crumbs. If I associate with eagles, I will learn to soar to great heights. I'm an eagle. It is my destiny to fly. I will seek wisdom. I will listen to the counsel of wise men. The words of a wise man are like raindrops on dry ground. They are precious and can be quickly used for immediate results. Only the blade of grass that catches a raindrop will prosper and grow. The person who ignores wise counsel is like the blade of grass untouched by the rain, soon to wither and die. When I counsel with just myself, I can make decisions only according to what I already know. But by counseling with a wise man, I add his knowledge and experience to my own and dramatically increase my success. I will seek wisdom. I will be a servant to others. A wise man will cultivate a servant spirit, for that particular attribute attracts people like no other. As I humbly serve others, their wisdom will be freely shared with me. Often, the person who develops a servant spirit becomes wealthy beyond measure. Many times, a servant has the ear of the king, and a humble servant often becomes a king, for he is a popular choice of the people. He who serves the most grows the fastest. I will become a humble servant. I will not look for someone to open my door. I will look to open the door for someone. I will not be distressed when no one is available to help me. I will be excited when I'm available to help. I will be a servant to others. I will listen to the counsel of wise men. I will choose my friends with care. I will seek wisdom. So that, my friends, is the second decision for success. I will seek wisdom. And again, I will drop the text version of that in Discord underneath the live sessions. So as I was reading that, if anything stood out to you, if anything resonated to you, go ahead and drop a comment. Just sharing, what resonated to you in what I just read about seeking wisdom. Was it who you spend your time with? Was it seeking that knowledge and wisdom? Was it a servant's heart? What resonated with you the most out of that little section there? Hey, welcome, Daryl. Welcome, Wojtek. Glad you guys are here. So with that, we're going to now move into, like I said last week, every session I want to drop some nuggets for us to just kind of chew on throughout the week. And last week I shared 5 characteristics of someone who has success in the trading world. This came from one of my mentors, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to go over 5 more. Okay, 5 more characteristics that can support you with success. Okay. Momentum via a sense of urgency, which is different than impatience. Okay, and if you enjoyed that reading, the second decision, I will seek wisdom. Give me a thumbs up if that resonated with you and you enjoyed that. And also, as I'm reading these 5 different skill sets, attributes, ways of being, share which one resonates with you the most today. Okay, just drop it in the comments which one resonates with you the most today. So momentum via a sense of urgency, meaning being urgent. Okay, urgency is different than impatience. Urgency would be if you learned a new skill set or technique or resource. If you're a scout and you're trying to figure out how to find quality projects. Okay, urgency would be implementing something as soon as possible. So maybe we drop a gold nugget. Maybe Phyllis or Metalluride or Hellstrom or Gordon Gecko. Maybe one of these scouts hops on here and they share a golden nugget. You implementing that right away would be a sense of urgency. Impatience would be trying to basically skip the line or game the system. Okay, basically trying to take shortcuts to get to where you want to get. Okay, trying to push it, trying to ask when this, when that, when this, when that, not realizing that literally you can show up, take immediate action, and just realizing that is great. Okay, and you do that over a period of time, and you're going to get where you want to get. Okay, impatience is wanting to be there yesterday and complaining that you're not there yesterday. Next is, and this falls directly in alignment as a great follow-up to this first one. Next is frequency and consistency and effort. Okay? Consistency. Okay? So for example, if your personal plan is to, scout a project a day, or 5 a day, or whatever the number is, 5 a week. Okay? It's all about the consistency. It's not about finding 3 today and then not doing anything for another week. It's about the day in, day out, the simple daily disciplines, the consistency over time, where you look up and you realize after a month's time, you've done X amount. Okay? The beautiful thing about having a goal, you want a goal that's actionable and measurable. And let's say that your goal is to scout 1 project a day. At the end of the day, you can recognize and realize, hey, did you accomplish your goal or did you not? It's real simple. Instead of worrying about, oh my goodness, what's it going to take to go from this to this, or what's it going to take to get a hot streak, you focus on what you can control. And with a sense of urgency, being consistent, taking action, and then, like I said, consistency, staying with it. Okay, it makes sense in the health and wellness world. Okay, if you wanted to lose weight, perhaps you're changing the way you eat, or perhaps you're changing the way that you move your body. Okay, urgency would be taking action right away. Impatience would be being frustrated that you don't see the results on the scale. Consistency would look like continuing to do your whatever activity that you're doing, whatever movement. Whatever it is. Let me tell you a quick story. There was a guy named Chris Lieto. He's a professional triathlete, and back early on in the day, hey Ricky, welcome. Back early on in the day, he went to the World Championships in Hawaii, and he had a great race, and it was a great experience, and his brother was there. His brother's name's Matt. And Matt showed up, and Matt had never had an athletic bone in his body. Not an athletic guy, but he's a big guy. We're talking like just really big, not muscular. He was definitely overweight. And seeing his brother, he was just so amazed at what his brother had accomplished, and it inspired him to change his lifestyle. Now, the reason he like I said, he saw his brother, he was amazed. He's like, I'm inspired. Okay. Now he started skateboarding. Now, usually, I don't know about you, but I don't think of skateboarding as a means of exercise and working out. Okay? That's not the typical, you wouldn't necessarily imagine a personal trainer being, oh, hey, go get a skateboard. You know what I mean? But he found something he was passionate about, and because he enjoyed that process, it was able to be frequent and consistent, and that allowed him to start losing some weight. And he eventually became a professional triathlete himself. Here's a guy with no athleticism, no athletic bone in his body, was always overweight. And because he found something he enjoyed, it allowed him to be consistent. Consistency is everything. Consistency is everything. Just like showing up to these sessions. Okay, showing up to these sessions consistently will make a major, major difference. Which leads us right into our next one. Ongoing training and study. Continuing to learn. Plugging into sessions like this, asking questions in Discord, getting new resources, following different YouTubers or influencers or thought provokers, reading different books. sharpening the axe, continuing to develop, continuing to grow, ongoing training and study. The crypto space changes so frequently, it changes so fast. I mean, the crypto space is such a wild space. I mean, all the way around it. The kind of profits you can make, everything happens so fast. And things can change. So ongoing study, ongoing training. Recognizing what launch pads you're launching, what new launch pads you're launching, staying up to date on that stuff, staying up to date on, what are some of the shenanigans going on with different launch pads or different call groups. Getting plugged into those things and really understanding and figuring that stuff out. We've talked before about volume of launches, and you develop KSP, and I'm almost to a point where I'm going to share the numbers that I've gathered for fair launches, but that's part of the study. Recognizing, for a fair launch process, statistically speaking, what are the odds of it actually working out in the short term and long term? Is it worth it, statistically speaking? How do you know which ones are actually going to work? So I'm going to share some of those details in Discord, and I'm going to share it with the hope that we all can kind of put our heads together and figure out some of the exceptions. Because right now fair launch success is not the rule. When I say fair launch, I mean a pink cell fair launch. Okay. Next topic is disciplined. Okay. Some of the most successful traders, successful people in their craft, disciplined. Absolutely, Carl, brick by brick. Absolutely. So we get to be disciplined. Okay, you have a plan, you have a vision, you've checked your ego, now you get to show up. It takes a little bit of discipline. You get to have a strong why, a strong vision in order to get it done. Just a quick story. Today I was getting some work done this morning. I was cold in the office. I need to go for a bike ride in the garage, and I hopped in the shower to warm up because I was cold. And in the shower, it was like 9:30, and I realized that there was a funeral that I had planned on going to today at 10 o'clock. And I'm like, oh my goodness, how did I forget? And so I'm rushing around, getting everything done. And so literally I was in the shower to get ready to go for a bike ride. Ended up going to a funeral. 3 hours later, I'm back home, and the first thing I do, I hop on my bike. Why? Because discipline. I have a vision. Okay, I have a vision for where I want to go. I have a vision for my life, and I need to practice that discipline. I need that discipline to keep the consistency up. Okay, and I need that urgency. Hey, this is important. Don't put it off. Let's go ahead and do it. Okay. Wojtek says he hates the fair launch meta. Absolutely. Now, my question with the fair launch meta is, I wonder if we were to look at over 100 projects and look at how many of them actually did decent and narrow those down, are there similarities amongst all the ones that did decent? And if there are, can we then start tracking those to see if it's likely it could happen again? See, that's the fun stuff. That's the thing I love about crowdsourcing and the crowdsource model. Okay, so when I get this data together, let's put our brains together and see if we can find, what the exception is with these and capitalize on it. Because the thing is, the ones that do good, they actually do good. But how many times at bat are you going to strike out before you find the winner? And is that going to put you in the hole, or is it going to put you overhead overall? And that's the data that I'm collecting right now. Okay, last but not least, this is really important, and this is why I'm doing these sessions. Okay, this right here is why I'm doing these sessions. Self-development fanatic. Hey, Chris, welcome. Self-development fanatic. I think it was Grant Cardone said, Boba, be obsessed or be average. Be obsessed or be average. Literally, you are the source. You are the source for the things that go on in your life. The way you think impacts the way you view things. It impacts your action as a result. It impacts how you show up, your vibration, the things you say, the things you do. It impacts your results. And there's a lot of people going through life very unhappy with their situation and circumstance, not realizing that how they think is impacting the results that they have in their life. And so self-development is so important. It's so important. You may look, you may think about like network marketing, or think about someone who's at a job that they absolutely dislike, or you may have heard someone and they just complain about, oh, well, that company did this, that, and this is why I couldn't make money. Or they jumped to something else. I tried this because, because of that, and that didn't work out well. Or someone who's always constantly changing jobs because they can't get along with that so-and-so, and that was a horrible boss, and that was a bad teammate, and that was so-and-so, and this was such and such. And time again, they keep jumping ship. They keep changing something else, not realizing that the problem continues to move with them. The problem is the thing in the mirror. Okay, I recently had an experience. I guess recently, this has been a period of time. I recognize that, there were things that I didn't like in the corporate America world. And there's things that I couldn't get past. My ego couldn't get past it. I couldn't grow through it. And I left. I quit. I left corporate America. And one day, I realized my ego was being pushed again. And I said, wait a second. I left my job, but I'm still having the same experience. And I realized it was me. I realized I had an opportunity to learn and grow through whatever lesson that I got to learn and grow through. Okay? So with that, here are 5 more examples and ideas of things that can support you in your success. So feel free to drop a comment. Which one resonates with you the most? What do you feel that you could work on the most right now? Momentum via a sense of urgency, which is different than impatience. Frequency and consistency and effort. Okay, are you lacking maybe the ongoing training and study? Are you lacking the discipline? Are you lacking the self-development fanatic? Be obsessed or be average. Which one resonates with you the most that you want to tackle and start taking on and see if it makes a difference for you? Ricky says he's enjoying this. Yeah, for things to get better, we have to get better. Absolutely, Jim Rohn. In order for things to get better, you get to get better. Like, that's it. That is such a ownership and personal responsibility quote. I love that, Ricky. I'm a big Ricky. Are you a Jim Rohn fan? I'm a big Jim Rohn fan. I think the way he spoke and the way he communicated was just so powerful and profound. So powerful and profound. All right, so we're just gonna change gears here, and we talk about this all the time. And I want to show this because this is really important. I want this to be just ingrained. And the reason I keep doing this is because here lately I saw someone kind of complaining about this idea of a scout. And and their mindset was just not in the right spot. And I want to support that. This person was very much egocentric from the possibility of they felt like their results as a scout was a reflection of their ability. And my friends, that's just not true. It's not true. Scouting is a very rewarding process and experience, but there's an element where there's just no control at some point. All your control is done on the research, but at the end of the day, man, if the team doesn't deliver, or the marketing doesn't deliver, or the market doesn't deliver, or the community doesn't deliver, or there's a hack, or there's a breach, or whatever, you have no control. You can't beat yourself up when things don't go your way. Okay? And so what I want to encourage you is, we have this checklist. You're going to have your own personal checklist to look at projects. That's your edge. Okay, that's your personal edge. Okay, that's you stacking probabilities in your favor. I said this before. It could be something about a fully doxed team, a StarTech audit, certain call groups, a utility already built. That might be your edge right there. Sometimes projects aren't going to do what they expected to do. It's a part of life. But it has no reflection on you as a person or your skill sets and ability. All right? Just give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Okay? I'm going to preach this all day long because it's so important. And also, your color-coded rank has nothing to do with your personal ability or reflection of you. There's going to be seasons and chapters of life where you may happen to get a couple projects in a row that aren't that great. And maybe you drop from green to beige, or maybe you drop from purple to green. It's not the end of the world. It's not a reflection on you. If you're sticking to your plan, that's your plan. That's your edge. Your edge works out over a what? Volume of launches. Volume means more than one. Volume is more than one. Okay? All right. So we stack our probabilities here. Okay? And we got Daryl said discipline. Carl said discipline. Okay? Hey, welcome, Ralph. Welcome, Sheepcoat. Glad you guys are here. Okay, so we're stacking our probabilities as we're looking at different projects, the things we're looking for, website, we're looking at marketing, we're looking at the team, are they docs, what about the audit? I mean, even with the audit, okay, here lately, StarTech's been missing some things. So even if it does have a StarTech, it doesn't mean that it's 100% legit. Okay, this is the wild, wild west. Okay, this is literally back in the Western days. Okay, so this is the game we play. Okay, and if you want to play the game, you got to have the right mindset. Okay, a little bit of resiliency, a lot of personal responsibility. All right, so you're stacking these probabilities. Okay, and you're saying, you know what, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Oh, it's got a couple negative things over here. And at this point, you say, hey, you know what? I think it's worth me posting. I think the pros outweigh the cons, and I'm going to post my project. Okay, great. Okay, that's the only element of control you have. Okay? Only element that you element of control that you have, okay? Wojtek says self-development is the hardest part. Sometimes I feel like running in circles. Regarding discipline, there's one trick. Embrace identity of what role character you want to be, then staying disciplined. Oh, Wojtek, it cut off that last part. Maybe that's supposed to say obviously. Or, yeah. Fill in that last part for me, Wojtek. But no, I'm with you. Self-discipline is tough. What I found for me personally, some of the things that have really helped me is accountability. Okay, accountability. And knowing that either people are going to ask me, people are waiting on me, people are depending on me to show up. Okay, so I do running races, I do triathlon races, and sometimes I train by myself, and sometimes I have a workout buddy or running buddy, and that's a built-in accountability. Knowing that we're both out there working hard, we're both suffering. And it's encouraging. And so, for example, I mean, look around, look at the comments. Here are some people who are committed to the process. What if there was a daily check-in where we're all saying, hey, you know what? I scouted some projects today. Hey, I did some personal development today. Just a level of accountability, knowing that you're not alone, knowing that you're out there working with other people. People are putting in the effort, putting in the time. Okay, getting consistent, that really helped me with discipline. Okay, I know that I had a team that I was working with. They were counting on me. They were encouraging me. I was inspired, and that really helped me. Okay, so once you realize that, hey, you know what? All these are pros. I'm willing to risk it for the biscuit. You're good to go. You launch the project. You put it on the calendar, whatever. At that point, it's out of your control. Okay, it's either going to work. It's not going to work. It is what it is. No big deal. It's all good. Okay? It's all good. Okay? Now, I will say, as we talked about before, the more pros you have over here, the less likely the project is going to be a scam. Okay? Once you figured out it's likely not a scam, okay, great. Now, you do have a little element of control on that part, whether it's a scam or not. A little element of control. Okay? As far as launch goes, who knows what the gains are going to be in the first 24 hours, the first 7 days, the first 30 days. Who knows? We don't know that. We don't know. We don't know if it's going to be break even. We don't know if it's going to be under. We don't know if it's going to have massive gains. We don't know that. Can't control it. Okay? So that first 24 hours, that first 7 days, that first 30 days, more so the first 24 hours, this doesn't have a strong impact on the kind of gain that we're going to have in that first 24 hours. Now, over time, 7 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, a year, oh, absolutely. Big time. Okay? The contract, the dev team, what's their means of generating revenue? Is the team doxed? What's the marketing plans? All that is super important for the long-term health and longevity of the project. What do I mean by that? Let's look at a prime example. Okay? Prime example. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I very much like using examples of projects that we have covered before on the live sessions. Because it's kind of like a throwback. Hey, remember when? Okay, this is our good friend SneckTech. Snek Inu. Okay, Snek Inu blasted out. Okay, at a 2.5x. All right, blasted out at 2.5x. We covered it on the call. We weren't really all that impressed. There was a lot of like uncertainties around the project. Weren't really sure. Had a funny, cool name called SneckTech. Okay, but there wasn't a lot of substance there. Wasn't a lot of substance. And so what happened? Well, they launched. About the only good thing that came from this project, let me go back just real quick. The only good thing that came from this project, only positive looking thing, was they had a cool play on words with SneckTech. And then there was a lot of call groups that were calling them. Okay? About 48 hours later, there was a message in their Telegram saying, hey guys, looks like the project failed. 48 hours! Okay? Let me break down what happened again. This project looked very questionable. There was a lot of negatives. There's a lot of cons. Yet, it did a 2.5x in the first 24 hours. 48 hours later, project is tanking, never to be turned again. Why? Because the team bailed. Team said, hey, this isn't going to work for us. We're out of here. That, my friends, is where that list, your checklist, really comes into play. The true longevity of the company and project. That is incredibly important. Okay? So if you're following your plan, and I want you to understand how this works. Okay? Let's take it a step further, and let's go back and let's look at a project. Okay? Let's look at a project over here. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but let's just look at this. Let's just look at Cookie Cell, and here's the reason why. What I want you to understand is, do not be concerned if your project tanks in the first 24 hours, if it tanks in 7 days, if it tanks over the 30 days. Do not be concerned. Why? We have a voting system that rewards successful projects. What do I mean by this? Well, it's really simple. This project right here. Actually, I do know of a project. Let's see if I can find it. This was like back in the day. Alpha Genesis. Alpha Genesis. Okay, perfect. This is a great example. Okay? This project. So this is on the audits list for this exact reason. Okay? This project was not profitable in 24-hour period. Okay? Not profitable for over a week. Not profitable over the month. Okay? Eventually, it turned around. Okay? Eventually, it turned around, and I ended up getting a 3x on it. Okay? The way our voting system works is, even if a project is here, let's use this as a great example. This is fantastic. Okay? Let's say this right here was a launch price. Okay? They failed in the 24-hour. Okay, here's the first 24 hours. And then they failed in the next 7 days, and then they failed in the next 30 days. Let's just pretend that all this was underneath. Okay, let's just make it drastically so you see what I'm saying here. Okay, what I'm saying is this project literally was not successful in any time frame. Okay, not successful in any time frame. But the way our voting system works is you got a downvote for the 24-hour period, you got a downvote for the 7-day period, you got a downvote for the 30-day, but all of a sudden price is looking up and it's profitable. And the way we gauge a project's profitability is, would you have wanted someone to get in this project and make money? Would you have wanted this project to be on the calendar? Did this project have potential? The answer is yes, 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 and yes. This project would receive a positive overall, and overall, it would be a profitable project, even if you got downvoted on your 24/7 and 30-day timeframes. Okay? It would still be profitable overall. So that's what I mean by, like, don't beat yourself up. If you have a dialed in game plan on, you know exactly the kind of projects you want to look at, you have your checklist, it's dialed in, you know exactly what you want, do not be discouraged and frustrated if you get a downvote for the 24-hour period, the 7-day period, or the 30-day period. Why? If it ever turns around, you're going to get an upvote overall, and your project's going to be profitable overall, period. That, my friends, is called winning. Okay? And that's how we can offset and fight against these pump and dump meme type, no utility, garbage projects that actually can compete with projects that may take a little bit of time to ramp up. Okay? This is huge. This is huge. So this project that we're looking at right now, let's look at the real stuff. This project is, we've been talking about it, been talking about here lately. It's been being talked about in Discord. And this is Vault Finance. And we talked about Vault Finance a handful of times on our calls, and they did struggle at launch, which was, I was kind of surprised. They struggled the way they struggled at launch, but it is what it is. Okay, so this is where they launched, or I'm sorry, they launched up here. There we go. Okay, did not do much. I mean, like it just tanked. Okay. And it was down for a period of time, 50% down, okay, over time. Man, Dex Tools is messing with me. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not. Dex Tools is absolutely messing with me right now. I would get to go back and look to see what the pre-sale price is. It doesn't necessarily matter. When I change time frames, it's moving the bars around, so I can't tell you which one it is or not. So we'll just call it this for now. Okay, so at launch, based on the daily chart, it was a 60% gain, which I think is accurate. I know it tanked a little bit after that. Anyway, so it was down for 26 days. 26 days. Down for 26 days, and then all of a sudden we're having a meteoric rise. Why? Because I focused on building out the ecosystem. Does that sound familiar? Building out the ecosystem, building out the tech, developing. Anything sound familiar? Anything sound like home? I had no problem with what they were doing here. Why? Because I'm committed to the long run. I'm committed to the end game. My vision is bigger than my ego. I don't care about where we're at right here. I care about where we're going. Okay? This is why I encourage you guys not to get discouraged on, it doesn't matter what price is necessarily today. It doesn't matter if it was not profitable for 24 hours or 7 days or 30 days. Okay? If you got your plan, if you're showing up, you're doing your thing, you're doing your simple daily disciplines, okay? Over time, you're going to win, okay? Consistency, day in, day out, you are going to win, Okay, so again, this project is Vault Finance. We featured them actually on Project of the Week, and talked about their project at least 4 times on these live sessions. So they got a lot of airtime from us. But really happy to see, their growth and development. And again, I was never worried about this stuff. Why? Because I care about the vision. Okay, my vision is bigger than my ego, and it's easy for me to not worry about what price is. For me, the only time I care about price is when I'm looking to exit. That's the only time I care. Okay, if my take profits right here, that's the only time I'm going to care about price. My take profits right there, that's the only time I'm going to care about price. Beyond that, it doesn't matter. Why? Because I have no control over it. All right, if that's making sense, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If all that's making sense, I just want to make sure that as a community, we are all empowered with the right kind of mindset to truly build and develop this ecosystem. Okay, I just want to make sure that we all can resonate and vibrate on that same wavelength, so we can all support each other. We can all lean on each other, work with each other, encourage each other, knowing we're all headed the same direction. Okay, we're all headed the same direction. So with that, we're going to go ahead and look at a project together. This project is called, I don't know if it's Unico, like real fast, like you say it like really fast, like Unico, or Unico. But we're going to take a look. And we're going to break it down like we always do. Okay, so this project is brought to us by PSC 100X, and it came to her from one of her sources. Okay, one of her sources. Okay, sources out and about in the crypto space, and so that's that's always something to consider. Always something to consider. So let's go ahead and take a look at the website. All right. Born to succeed, ready to lead. The first rebound protocol. Unico is changing the landscape of DeFi, delivering solutions to strategically manage inflation and deflation, protecting investors while providing passive income. The financial revolution is here, and Unico is leading the way toward a stable future of collective wealth. Okay. All right, so right off the bat, the site is really clean. Okay. The site is really clean. It seems to function pretty good. They're not trying to like woo us and wow us with like special effects. It's basic, but it's clean. The color schemes are all matching. Okay, we got the same stuff going on here. Okay, we got our socials. Okay, I wouldn't imagine. Oh, there is developers here. Okay, I started to say I wouldn't imagine I may not find a team information. This looks more like a a project with an anonymous team, but maybe not. Let's see here. Tokenomics, passive protocol revenue. For any given transaction, the Treasury's multi-sig contract secures 3.6% of every buy and 4.5% of every sell, generating passive revenue for the protocol. Progressive deflation. During the trade, the transaction fee is partially burned, meaning that Unico has a deflationary supply of 2.4% of buys and 3% of sells are always sent to the burn address and lost forever, ensuring progressive deflation. Never-ending liquidity. 6% of every buy transaction and 7.5% of every sell is collected and sent to the automatic liquidity system. This powerful feature allows for never-ending trading liquidity. Unico solves many of the issues that typically plague DeFi projects, such as unsustainability, inequality, and poor longevity. By providing a sustainable long-term solution that prioritizes stability and security, Unico is changing the game. Built on Web3, the mission. Sets aside individual interests for a greater cause, collective wealth. Protecting users from the human factor, which typically leads to market volatility and panic selling, Unico sets a new standard in the world of both traditional and decentralized finances. This guarantees a future for the protocol and stability for each and every user. Okay, we're going to keep reading. Right now, I haven't necessarily figured out what makes them different than all the other rewards type projects or tokens. So keep digging. Your assets secured in your wallet. Security is the highest priority for Unico. This is why the protocol was designed to be compatible with hardware wallets so that holders can enjoy daily rewards while holding and compounding their funds directly in their wallet without the risk associated with staking on external smart contracts. Okay, so after reading this so far, personally, I don't know what makes them different than other rewards types projects. I don't know. Right now, it just looks like a reward type project with a really professional branding. Okay, doesn't mean that's what the case. That doesn't mean that's what they are. And I don't mean that disrespectfully or rude at all. I just my first thoughts here as I'm looking over this. Okay, so we got 3,777% per year, 1% daily interest. Okay, how? Okay, recognizes interest to each individual investor. Okay, where does the interest come from? New tokens are generated directly at the internal level inside the Unico protocol and then distributed among the investors' wallets. The interest isn't generated through forceful minting of tokens. However, the outcome is highly comparable in inflationary terms as the supply is increased with each token delivery. An increase in supply or inflationary action does not necessarily imply a loss of the value asset. Thanks to their progressive deflation and rebound features, asset value is sustained throughout every token delivery. It is of fundamental importance to guarantee to the investor a fixed and constant interest over time in order to give them the possibility to work out and advance their own strategy and the amount of investment. Secondly, the user can plan future economic needs based on the interests perceived on a daily basis. What does the DTP ratio mean? Daily take profit, DTP, daily take profit ratio, is a value that indicates the percentage of Unico, that an investor can sell on a daily basis according to the ratio between the tokens they hold and the volume of the liquidity pair. That's interesting. I wonder if that like limits the amount that you can sell per day. Curious about that. Protocol revenue. 1 plus 1 equals 3. With the aim of generating external streams of revenue for Unico's protocol, the treasury will be invested in multiple external protocols that will generate yield on the deposits. Unico's treasury will be secured thanks to a multi-sig contract. Buyback and burn is a term widely used in the context of digital assets, but the concept is similar to conventional share repurchase plans. In traditional finance, share issuers repurchase previously issued shares on the secondary market in order to reduce circulating supply and hence boost market prices, thereby supporting long-term price stability, volatility reduction, and value appreciation. Human factor. From the premise made in the previous section, it emerges that an investor currently finds himself in an environment which is perfect combination of factors that will direct them toward making mistakes and managing their finances. In order to understand how the Unico protocol can be employed, it's important to establish what human factors it mitigates to make the investment safe, stable, and profitable. The main difficulties that Unico solves can be traced back to 3 spheres: technique in the search for the perfect strategy, risk capital management, we talk about that all the time, psychology, we talk about that as well, tranquility and the rule of sleeping at night. Okay, this is interesting. So I think I've shared this with you guys before. So like me, when I'm researching a project, if it doesn't speak to me right away, it takes me a long time to like personally learn through text, it's much easier for me to learn and comprehend when I watch a video on how it works. So right now, my initial thoughts on this, they're solving some of the issues other projects struggle with. They've got some built-in things that provide some consistent revenue and some consistent earnings. One of the things I'm kind of curious about is it talked about the what was it, the DTP, the daily take profit. And so I'm kind of confused about this. I don't know if that means that you can only withdraw certain amounts per day, or how that works. But a lot of the projects that pay out ROIs, it comes down to obviously based on the buy and sell, based on volume. Okay, based on volume. So if there's not a lot of volume coming in, obviously, the amount you're receiving is going to waver. Now, the fact that they say that it's fixed, this is what I'm kind of curious about. You know, how can it always be fixed? So I would get to do some more research to actually understand. I'd get to probably listen to some AMAs, listen to some people explain it in a way that I can understand it. Okay, but a website. So website, I'm liking the feel. I can appreciate the design, the simplicity. Right now, I'm definitely in the understanding phase. Let me figure out what's going on here, and that's where I'm at now because I don't have a full grasp of what's going on. But as far as what they're talking about, I like the idea, I like the concept. Let's see what it says about the developers here. Okay, so when you click on developers, it says the Unico team is committed to constantly improve and update the protocol, encouraging technological innovation in the industry and ensuring that the values of loyalty and correctness are always respected. For these reasons, Unico's smart contract will be protected via a time lock and a multi-sig contract, ensuring maximum safety for the team and the users. Treasury will be a secured multi-sig contract. Okay. I was kind of thinking that it was going to. I was kind of thinking it was going to take us to like the actual team. The actual team. All right, let's do who is. See how long the website's been up. And again, these are different things that you can do yourself to again stack probabilities in your favor of a project that's maybe more risky, less risky, based on the information that we're finding. So website creation date, domain creation date was back in July. Okay, so we're going on about a little over, I guess a little under 3 months or 4 months rather. All right, let's check out the Telegram group. See what we have here. All right, let's join the group. Okay, click to prove I'm human. I'm human. I'm accepted. Okay, Telegram looks pretty quiet. Okay, I just joined. This guy is spamming his services. That was posted about an hour ago. Someone welcomed some new people at 11:51. Over here, we got some people joking around. Yeah, so so I don't see any questions yet. Okay, so not a lot going on here. Okay, but we have 938 members and 11 pinned messages. Okay, so 11 pinned messages. First message was October 21st. So that was 14 days ago? So 2 weeks ago, first pinned message. And it looks like that was the first message here in Telegram. the first rebound protocol. All right, so let's see if we got some bots. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Okay, so this person asks, who are the devs? Are they doxed? Okay, but they did get an answer 2 minutes later, so that's pretty nice. 5:30 in the morning, got an answer 2 hours later. I'm sorry, 2 minutes later. The team is not docs, but the team is mainly from America and Europe. The team is not docs. However, they are looking into KYC. They have completed one audit, which can be found here. There are other audits currently being conducted as well, in addition to multi-sigs with 96-hour time locks. Okay, this person asks, I looked through the audit but would like to know the name of the people I'm investing money into, what country is the team from. Right here. Yes, but the team still wish to remain not docs. KYC is important, but it's still not always good enough to guarantee trust. Unico team is considering the option as an added value, but also implementing more secure things like audited contracts, multi-sig ownership, and time locks. DeFi and the blockchain industry in general was born as trustless, permissionless set of tools that allow people to manage their finances anyway. Keep an eye on the announcements and the docs because Unico will be releasing many news about security. We're looking into multiple ways to ensure trust for Unico, and KYC is one of them. So you guys hear me talk about all the time that I'm very much a fan of opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to doxing. So either go all in, 100% doxed. This is my name. Here's my face. I'm on audio. Here's my socials. I'm on video. All that stuff. Here's my bio. Here's what I've done the last 10 years. Or completely anonymous. And this team has chosen completely anonymous. And I'm okay with either one of those. When we think back to the website, we don't have a bogus team with random avatars named Skippy, Lulu, and Dot. I just made those things up. I don't know what I'm saying right now. But you get what I'm saying. We've seen some projects where they just have these avatars with these bogus names. That is not doxing. And so I would rather a team address it like this. This is one of the best ways to address it right here. And I can appreciate this. Okay? I can appreciate that. So for me, this is not a red flag. Now, it may be a red flag for you based on your own personal strategy, your own personal things you're looking for. You may want a 100% docs team. Okay? That's fine. No complaints there. I just invite you to document everything you're doing and keep track of that stuff so you can find your bread and butter and you know exactly what you're looking for. Okay? But I do appreciate the fact that they're answering these questions. And, I like that. PSC 100X asked about the team. We're currently 4 non-doxed in the core team distributed in Europe and North America. We come mainly from TradeFi FinTech and have been in the crypto space for many years now, covering different roles in the industry. For any questions, we remain at your complete disposal. Do you have a tentative date on pre-sale and launch date? We have not communicated any specific date at the moment. There is a pre-sale whitelist competition running that will end in 8 days, so we can say the launch is approaching. Okay. AMA. AMA is already planned. Well, when? One of the things I do like about this is every time we're finding a question, they're getting their questions answered. I appreciate that. Okay, again, there's not a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, it's not like a super busy group, but that's okay. We got some people who look like they are enjoying the community and they're contributing, and people are asking questions, getting their questions answered. AMA soon. Okay, okay. Looking for. I'm just looking to see if there's a recording of anything. Let's go check out all their pinned messages real quick, see if we can find anything that could be helpful for us. Okay, they're launching on the Switch launchpad. I haven't even heard of that. I don't know if you guys have heard of that before, but I haven't. Switch. Okay. Looks like whitelist competition opened up on the 26th. Some people are excited about that. I'm kind of confused about this. Huge thank you to all the first 3,000 members who joined. I wonder if that's across all socials, so maybe like Twitter, Discord, and in Telegram, because in Telegram there's only 900. Now I can appreciate this. So they did a contest for $3,777. That's cool because that's the percent. You know, that's the gains that they're posting. I like that. Remember like how radio stations? I don't know if they still do this, but back in the day, like radio stations, like 106.9, they're giving away like $106. I thought that was pretty cool. So I can appreciate that creativity there. Okay, let's go ahead and check out. Let's check out Switch Launchpad. See what this is about. Switch Launchpad. Unico. Live. Okay, none are live. Finished. None are finished. Upcoming. I wonder if that's their own launchpad. Uh, that's kind of weird. Um, that's definitely worth noting. Okay, this is definitely worth noting to like get clarity and questions on. So here's a launchpad, upcoming Unico. That's the only one that's upcoming. Live, there's none that are live, and finished, there's none that are finished. Okay, so it looks like Unico is going to be the first project to launch off this launchpad, which nothing's wrong with this, but it was branded as they were launching off another launchpad, like not their own. And that's how I saw it rather. That's how I saw it. Maybe I read that wrong, looked into that wrong, but that's how I took that. So, but this is what Skylab's launched off of VSL. So it's not the end of the world, but it's definitely worth wondering if they're connected somehow. I mean, we also have the blue and white. We have that little logo there. I don't know. There could be some similarities here. I could see. I mean, so look at the icons here. I mean, if they are partner companies, or if they are under the same umbrella, I think it's worth people knowing that. I could be putting too much into this, but like, if this launchpad is a part of the whole ecosystem, that's fine. I think that's fine, but that'd be a really good question to ask. That'd be a really good question to ask. And again, I may not. I could be totally off base and totally out in left field about this. but I do like a good mystery. I do like I do like trying to put puzzles together and connecting the dots and everything. But there's a lot of similarities here. I find it kind of suspicious that this is the only project that's upcoming. There's no one live and there's nothing finished yet. They have similar branding. I don't know. Sounds slightly suspicious. Slightly suspicious. Not like in a bad way, but like in a mysterious way. Mysteriously suspicious. Okay. Next up, let's see here. Next up, um, let's check out the Telegram group. I'm sorry, Twitter group. Copy link. All right, so we got 4,400 followers. Decent engagement. Yeah, it's just some decent engagement. I'm curious about any, like any live sessions that they've had. I would really like to find a AMA is what I'd really like to find with the team so I can learn audibly. I wonder if we have anything on YouTube. Check out YouTube for Unico Finance. Okay, so looks like we got some influencers that are talking about this. So yeah, you got a handful of influencers talking about this. Right off the top here, oh, hold on a second. I started to say right off the top, I don't see certain YouTube gangs, certain YouTube influencer gangs. Um, I don't think I've researched this guy very much, but yeah, there's a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of influencer stuff happening right now. It's kind of interesting that there's so many. I've seen this guy before, Jim Crypto. I think it's kind of interesting that there's so many videos about this project. And we got like what 10, 15, but they don't have a launch date. I find that to be a little strange. I find that to be strange. So right now, my current take on this. So if I'm looking at this as a scout, my personal current take on this would be kind of a risky play. The reason is right now I don't know what's going on right with this project, and I don't know how it's any different than the other projects that come before it that offer a high APY. Okay, they have some language about the first rebounder such and such, and things like that. Um, but I don't know what that means yet. I would get to wrap my head around why this is important. So for me, I would really be looking at AMAs. How can I learn about this project? How can I learn about how it works and why this is so different? Okay, so my first, like I said, we're just scratching the scratch on this project. I believe it would be, for me personally, it's kind of on the more risky end. It feels like, based on seeing all these videos, like if we didn't have some of these videos, I would think it was um, more, it would be less risky. But seeing some of these influencers, it makes me wonder again, Um, is this just a rebranding of a previous project? Like rebranding is in like making it look different than the typical high APY kind of projects. And I know, I know we've talked about this before that this right here is problematic. These types of claims and things are problematic. Um, we've heard this on AMAs before where Jeremy and Mike have talked about these types of claims are problematic. So I'm kind of curious how that fits in there. So those are my thoughts. So what's missing for me is I just need to know audibly or from a video like what makes this really different and unique. How is it sustainable? How are they different than just the other um, high APY projects and things like that? I do like the fact and appreciate the fact that they're anonymous. They want to be anonymous. They owned it, and I appreciate that and respect that, and I'm enrolled with that as well. So, what do you guys think? As we're going over this project, you as a scout, if you were looking at this project, what are some of the questions that you would have, that you would be curious about, and that you would want to ask the team about? Um, Also, this connection right here, um, I find that really uh, interesting is not the right word. uh, I if they are connected, if this launch pad is connected to the project, why don't they just say it? Okay. And the only reason I suspect that they are connected is again because there's only one that's coming up, there's none that are live, and there's none that's finished. The fact that they have the same branding ish, same logo ish, that makes me think that they're connected somehow. And the only like if they addressed it, if they just said, "Hey, we're launching off our own launch pad," I wouldn't think anything of it. But the fact that I haven't found anything about it, maybe it's in Telegram. Let me go back here. Let me ask. How was it spelled? Let me go back. Switch. SWYCH. SWYCH. Switch. There's a lot of talk about it. Wow. Okay. So let's see what they say about Switch. Switch, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is deflationary DEX built by the same brilliant team that built Titano. Switch burns exchange fees as opposed to every other DEX that sells its fees, depressing token values. Because of this incredible potential, Unico will be much more deflationary than it was originally intended to be, revealing unlimited benefits to the protocol. This partnership is perhaps the best thing that could have happened to Unico before launching. Unico's vision had always been about long-term deflation and sustainability, and this listing allows its focus even more on that. Now make sure you go and tell everyone about this amazing news and be ready to welcome a new wave of friends from the Switch community. Interesting. Okay, so it sounds like it's not from the same team, unless the team created Titano. I suppose that's a possibility. That's a possibility. Anyway, I'm really curious about that. I'm curious about that. So that's that. So that's my thoughts on this project. I'm gonna add this project into Discord, and we can work together and get some more questions asked and answered, and some things figured out. So with that, I'll end like I normally do, and I did want to say, I say this every session, but I think it's worth saying. Today I went to a funeral. It was this woman. She was actually my elementary school gym teacher, my 5th grade year, and I actually ran cross country and track with her daughter. We both graduated together, and then she was also the family knows my mom, who worked at a doctor's office, and so just growing up with people. But she was healthy. She was active, And I don't know the details on her passing, but it was kind of surprising. And so, I say this all the time. I say it every session, every time I'm live. I say this, but I mean, today, just I really encourage you to understand the meaning behind what I'm saying and why it's significant. Life can be short. So, for those that you care and love, let them know you care and love them. Hey, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here, being a part of this ecosystem, and thank you for, rolling up your sleeves and lacing up your kicks and going to work with me to build out this ecosystem for us to all to get better together and work together in unison for the greater vision. Thank you for your vision. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for what you're creating in the community. We are definitely stronger together, and I am so thankful to be here, to be part of this platform and part of this just part of this movement. So, with that, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and I will see you guys in Discord. Bye for now.